Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about just what it's like to be a woman. So the one thing that I hate about being a woman is that everybody thinks your personal life is their business. So I work with the public all day long. I'm a hairstylist, so I meet new people every day. I am with people 8 to 10 hours a day. It's a lot, and I get asked quite often about my personal life, and it's always, oh, so how many kids do you have? Do you have kids? And I don't know why that's any of your information. I mean, I can't just say, oh, none of your business. So then I'm stuck in an awkward situation because how do I respond to that? Do I say, oh, we're trying, I've been having a really hard time, like I'm at a fertility clinic? No, because I don't know you. Or do I say, oh, well, I did, but she's no longer here? Or do I just say, yeah, and just be quiet? It's tough because you're put in an awkward situation and there's not much you can say because you're at work, so you're kind of forced to be nice and kind about it. And one time, I want to say 6 or 7 months ago, I was at work and my husband bought me this really nice dress. It was a black dress, it was a form-fitting dress, and I got all dolled up to go to work. I did my makeup and I did my hair and I was so excited. And I got to work, and then I had this girl who I was cutting her daughter's hair. She said, oh, when are you due? And I was like, oh, pardon? She's like, yeah, like, when are you due? You're pregnant, right? And I was like, no, I'm not. And she responds with, oh, I thought you were. You kind of look like it. Like, are you sure? And I kind of was taken back. Like, what do you mean, am I sure? Of course I'm sure. And then she just continued on with it. So I was like, yeah, like, I'm not pregnant. I just had a baby. I just had a miscarriage. Like, yeah, sorry, got a little weight on my stomach. Not much I can do about it. And then she goes off to tell me, oh, you might want to see a doctor about that. Like, it took me a long time to lose my weight from my kids, and, it turned out that there was something wrong. I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong. Thank you, though. And the worst thing, she just kept going. She did not know when to shut up. And this actually happens more often than you believe. Maybe it's just because of the job I'm in that people just want to make conversation and they don't know what to talk about. But like, ask me how my day's going. Ask me what exciting things I've done, where I've traveled, what I have planned for this year. Like, what does my personal life have to do with yours? I don't know. And then there was a time where I was at a salon briefly. I wasn't there very long, and I had a client. She's like, oh, so do you have any children? And I kind of just changed the subject. I was like, oh, like maybe she just won't notice. Maybe she'll take the hint. She's like, oh, I asked you, how many children do you have? And I was like, oh, I don't really like talking about this. And she's like, oh, do you have a baby daddy? I'm like, no, I had a baby and she passed away. And she kind of turns her head back to me and she's like, well, maybe you should just tell people no. And excuse me? Who are you to tell me what I should say? You asked me this question, so why should I feel uncomfortable because of the question you asked me? And then there was another time where somebody had asked, and I was like, oh, I've had some losses, so I'm having a hard time. And she's like, oh yeah, so my sister had something like that, and yeah. I was like, oh, that sucks, that's a bummer. And then so she kind of inquired more about it. She's like, oh, so what happened? And I was like, oh, I had a daughter and she was born prematurely and then she passed away. And as I got into it more, she's like, oh yeah, so we don't have to talk about this. And I'm like, no, like, I don't mind talking about it. She's like, no, seriously, I don't want to talk about this. I'm like, oh, okay, why did you ask? So it's tough because it's like you get asked these questions all the time just for being a female. And it's so awkward. Like, you don't know, like, I don't know. I guess I just would never ask somebody because I've been through it. But you think, it's 2020. What are you doing? You never know what somebody's going through. Maybe she just doesn't want children, or maybe she does and she's had losses like me, or maybe she wants to and she's been trying for 5 years and can't get pregnant. What is it of your business? It's not. It's time we stop asking women these questions. Like, why do we have to feel uncomfortable? And then that goes into this whole big conversation about that miscarriages are this big taboo subject, and why? Because it makes you feel uncomfortable? Well, how does that make us feel? Miscarriages are so common and nobody seems to talk about them. And anytime somebody does, we just get shut down. But in reality, so many women are going through this. So why don't we talk about it more? 1 in 4 women will experience some kind of baby loss or child loss. That's a lot of people. 1 in 4. That's a lot. So why don't we talk about this? Why is it still such a touchy subject? Because every woman I know who's went through it enjoys talking about it. Because we get to talk about our babies that are no longer with us, and it reminds us that they're not forgotten. Yeah, of course we don't like the fact that we've been through it, but it's nice to know that people care. I love when somebody asks me about my daughter, because I'm like, oh, they haven't forgotten about her. But anytime we talk about it, we get shut down. So I think it's time that we just stop making miscarriages and baby loss and infertility such a bad subject. Like, maybe you don't know, maybe your best girlfriend is going through it and you have no idea because she doesn't feel comfortable enough to talk to you. So let others know you're there. Let them know that, if they're going through any kind of hardship with having a baby or any kind of losses, let them know that you're there. Share those posts that you see on Facebook about 1 in 4 women, and don't hide your story because you're afraid of what others are going to think, because the reality of it is there's always going to be somebody who judges you. Always. And there's nothing you can do about that. So just stop caring what people think and live your life. Talk about your babies. Talk about your struggles, because I can assure you there's somebody else out there who feels the same way as you, or there's somebody out there who cares to hear your story. Do it for them. Don't do it for the people who don't want to hear it. Screw them. Next time you sit there and you think, I don't know if I'm going to share this because Joe might judge me. Do you want to know what I got to say to that? Fuck Joe. Post your stories. Let everybody know. Say it loud and clear. Don't hold back. So thanks for tuning in. It was great to have you all here, and I will see you next time.